Welcome to Thursday, the 18th day of July, 2024. This Day Weather podcast brought to you by Wyoming State Park. Celebrate Wyoming's firearms and outdoor recreation industry at the second annual Wyoming Firearms and Outdoor Recreation Expo this Saturday in Casper, July 20th from 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Well, the midsummer routine continues. What does that mean? Well, the pattern that we're in right now is very typical for the middle of July across the Intermountain West and the Western High Plains. Warm days, mild nights, and afternoon and evening thunderstorms. We're seeing these thunderstorms ebb and flow. We had a lot of thunderstorms Monday, not a lot Tuesday, quite a bit yesterday. Today will be a lot like Tuesday. Not quite as many. They'll still be out there. And then we're basically going to see the uptick in thunderstorms again continue into Friday, go up again, as the pattern is going to come in surges, at least in terms of the subtropical moisture. So basically, we're in a pattern that's just not going to change day to day. Hopefully, these afternoon and evening thunderstorms will continue to produce rain where we need it, and that's been the case in a few areas here lately. Through the weekend, the thunderstorm risk is fairly high, really no matter where you are, especially in the mountains, near the mountains, but also on both sides of the divide and across the Southern Rockies and the desert Southwest in particular. We see maybe a little bit of a drier air mass coming in early next week. So between Monday and let's say next Thursday, the amount of thunderstorms will be less. They'll still be there, they'll be less. Then there's another subtropical moisture surge that's going to come late next week. So late next week and towards next weekend, we expect those thunderstorm chances to pick up. Great shot of mammatus clouds there coming down from Dewey, Arizona. The evenings especially with these thunderstorms leading to great cloud photo opportunities. This one actually happened in late June near Lake McConaughey. There's quite a shot. Beautiful photo there. And we're also seeing some neat clouds during the day. And then beautiful sunsets. We've had that, and there's no reason to think that the cloud and sky watching won't change over the next few days as these afternoon and evening thunderstorms build. We still have a fair amount of smoke and haze in the region, adding color to those sunrises and sunsets. As we take a look at where the weather pattern will be today, this is going to look familiar because it's just not changing. High pressure is centered over northeast Arizona. We have the trough in the Great Lakes in the east, so the main jet stream flow is going just like this. And basically that's going to be how it's going to go through the weekend. So this high pressure ridge, if you follow the circulation of the winds, will keep the subtropical moisture coming up out of Mexico into the western United States. That will be the impetus to get the showers and thunderstorms going, as that moisture will be available, strong daytime heating over the higher terrain. Cooler air will funnel in out of Canada into the Great Lakes in the eastern part of the United States. And this is where we're going to be through the weekend. If you look at the satellite imagery this morning, the water vapor continues to show lots of patches of gray here. So the water vapor is abundant enough that the moisture is going to feed those late day showers and thunderstorms. Embedded in this moisture are little disturbances. And if the timing is right, if they come over your region during the warmest part of the day, that's where the cluster of thunderstorms will tend to kind of come together, be a little bit more organized. So it's the same pattern, it's a different day. So here's where the thunderstorm action will be by late afternoon and evening across the region. If you were to draw the center line of the showers and thunderstorms, basically it just comes down right along the Continental Divide. And that's where the action is going to be, on either side of the divide near the higher terrain. You get further out into the plains, you get further west, you're not going to see much action. So this is where the thunderstorms will be most numerous today, and this is where the risk of a few getting strong in the darker shaded green areas is where the thunderstorm risk is going to be a little bit higher. This is where we're going to be on Friday. Notice we have a little bit more of a concentration of the darker colors here. So that's where the thunderstorms are likely going to be a little bit more active as another little deeper plume comes in, kind of like what happened yesterday and what happened on Monday. And there's the marginal risk of severe weather tomorrow. Again, in a similar area to where it's been lately. And that's how it's going to roll through Saturday. That's how it's going to roll through Sunday. Now notice Sunday, there's drier air coming into Utah, Montana right here. So this drier air is going to shunt the thunderstorm activity more to the east and south as we get into Monday and Tuesday. But through Sunday, these afternoon and evening thunderstorms are going to be widespread. If we add up the temperature anomalies between now and Monday, as we have shown you over the last couple of days, hottest relative to average in Canada, the Pacific Northwest and Northern Rockies, the Great Basin. But you get right along and east of the divide, temperatures are actually going to end up being a bit below average. The farther you go to the east, the cooler it's going to be. Sunday's pattern doesn't change much. The high pressure ridge is actually a little bit further to the west, but we still have this highly amplified flow of the trough coming into the Midwest and the Great Lakes as we go into the Sunday period. But with the high pressure ridge shifting more west, that's going to pinch off the subtropical moisture for a while. That's why there won't be as many thunderstorms Monday through Wednesday, maybe Monday through Thursday of next week. The subtropical moisture flow has a little bit of a harder time. It's got to take a little bit of a longer trek. So the thunderstorms are still going to be there, but they won't be as numerous. But when we go into later next week, we'll see things change. Certainly by Wednesday, there's not much of a change. But by next Saturday, notice the high pressure weakens, gets stretched out, and then we start to see subtropical moisture flow coming back on in with the weakening high pressure ridge. So by late next week, by next Friday, by next Saturday and Sunday, another surge of subtropical moisture will increase thunderstorm coverage in the region again. And this back and forth as we go through the next couple of weeks into early August is very typical for this time of year. Have yourself a good Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow.